The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald is a novel about how loyalty to others differs from loyalty to your dreams. Before we jump into my reasoning, let's meet the characters. We've got Daisy Buchanan, her cousin Nick Carraway, and Jay Gatsby. The first reason as to why this novel is about loyalty is how Nick is loyal to Jay Gatsby throughout their entire friendship. He cares about him when no one else does. The first piece of evidence for this claim is how Nick goes to Jay, who is waiting for Daisy's call. He says, "I drove from the station directly to Gatsby's house." Fitzgerald 161. He does this when he senses that Jay is in danger, which he most certainly was. Another circumstance that supports this reason is how Nick is the only person who comes to Jay's funeral besides Jay's father. "I took him aside to wait for half an hour. Nobody came." Fitzgerald 174. The fact that Nick is the only person to come to Jay's funeral besides his father really outlines Nick's loyalty to Jay, as well as revealing that Nick may have been Jay's only true friend. The second reason supporting the idea that this novel is about loyalty is how Jay Gatsby is loyal to his dreams and the woman he loves throughout the entire novel. A piece of evidence supporting this reason is how Jay takes the blame for Daisy, so she isn't prosecuted for Myrtle's death.
Was Daisy driving?
Yes. But of course I'll say I was. Fitzgerald 143. Jay was so loyal to Daisy that he was willing to take all the blame for a manslaughter that he did not commit. At this point, people were out to kill him, but he would have taken that any day over Daisy dying. Jay is so loyal to Daisy that he dies waiting for her to call him. He must have felt that he had lost the old, warm world, paid a high price for living too long with a single dream. Fitzgerald 161. Consider this. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald is a tragic love story about how loving someone to no end can lead to many problems. The reasoning for this idea is the fact that the plot of this entire novel is driven by Jay Gatsby's everlasting love for Daisy. He does everything in hopes that he will have a life with her one day. He even dies waiting for her. How could this not be a love story? A piece of evidence supporting this reason is how Gatsby bought that house so Daisy would be just across the bay. He says he's read a Chicago paper for years, just on the chance of catching a glimpse of Daisy's name. Fitzgerald 78-79. This specific evidence is outlining in depth how Jay Gatsby devoted his entire life to Daisy because he loved her, right? Maybe not. It's understandable how someone might read this novel and believe it's a love story. It's true that Jay does everything he does for Daisy, but is it because he loves her, or is it because he's obsessed with a far too idealized version of her? When Jay is separated from Daisy for a long time, he doesn't stop thinking about her, and the more he thinks about her, the more he idolizes her, and in doing so, he begins to lose his grasp of who she really is. Jay becomes so obsessed with Daisy, to the point where he reads the newspapers solely for the chance that he'll see her name. And moving into a house right across where she lives, those are sure signs of obsessive behavior. So what I'm trying to say here is that this novel cannot be a love story, because there's no true love. Perhaps it could be described as an unhealthy love story. But to say that Jay is truly in love with Daisy as a person is just not credible. That's why this novel cannot be a love story. And if you think about it, right next to Gatsby's obsession with Daisy throughout the novel, Nick's loyalty to Jay also runs the plot. Nick being loyal to Jay does not end in demise. Jay being loyal to his romanticized dreams does. With that being said, it is safer to say that The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald is truly a novel about loyalty, how loyalty to people and to dreams are very different.